Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day, either on YouTube or Facebook. We are streaming on both those platforms. I got Kate from Nerd with a Cigar with me, and I got Adela Finn from Twitter and Facebook with me.
Hello.
We are going to be discussing the third episode of Kenobi, and oh boy, folks. Oh boy. Yikes.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Ouch.
As
Yeah.
a fan for 35 years of my life, when I was 2 when I watched this stuff, and a kid who grew up delving into the lore,
Mhm.
having all of this stuff, plus
Yeah.
way so much more,
Yeah.
you kind of feel like you're insulted by watching this episode.
Oh yeah.
Especially when we know that these two characters, spoiler alert, did not freaking fight between episode 3 and episode 4.
Vote. Ah, you brat. Sorry.
It's okay. And so we are going to go through this episode in detail, scene by scene.
Yeah,
we are
so
going
spoilers.
Yeah, it's going to be spoilers. It's
Yeah.
going to be, we're going in order of the events. So basically, starting it out, how are you guys doing first, Adela and Kate?
Yeah, doing all right. How about you?
Well, justice for Johnny Depp, that's all I'll say.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I am doing
Oh
pretty well.
man, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty great.
I also got a copyright on one of my streams about, hey, OG Star Wars, how you doing?
Hello.
I'm glad you're tuning in, OG, because I know that you're going to want to hear some of the stuff that we're going through.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, we start episode 3. Kenobi's basically trying to reach out to Qui-Gon Jinn. It's like, I've been off the Force for 10 years. I got to get back into it, man. Okay, Qui-Gon, if ever you're going to freaking talk to me, now's the time. Qui-Gon. He's coming. He's basically, it's intercut with Vader getting prepped after a back-to-bath
Yeah.
on Mustafar. He's getting all
Which is
screwed
not
together, everything
More
going
friendly
good.
at all.
Now, that actually, I will say, that looks cool.
It
Seeing
does.
Vader getting pushed or put together looks pretty cool.
Mhm.
I'll admit, that's a good visual. But it happens to be a good visual in a shit show.
Mhm.
So, yeah, he's on Mustafar. One of the places that, if you paid attention to the EU lore, how you doing,
Yeah.
Kiwi Crowd? Good to see
Yeah.
you. If you pay attention to the EU lore, you know there are certain places that Vader can't go.
Would never go. Would never set
He
foot on.
can't go.
No.
He can't go. Naboo, the Jedi Temple, Tatooine, Mustafar.
Yep.
So that's 4 places that Vader could never set foot on because it could literally kill him from the physical stress placed on his body from the memories that it all triggers.
Yep.
But, of course, Disney doesn't give a shit about that. They actually give him a fucking castle on Mustafar,
Yeah.
the site of his greatest betrayal. So Palpatine's basically shoving that in his face.
Yep.
Or the way that they sit, or the way that Disney, I have to look into Disney shit. I hate doing it. But the way that Disney figures it is this can further serve Vader's rage. And while that is a good thought,
Yeah, it is.
psychologically speaking, when it comes to somebody like Anakin Skywalker, if you read the books that are still considered canon,
Mhm.
you know that he wouldn't be able to handle that kind of stress because he was a literal fucking mess.
Mhm.
Now, so also him sitting in that throne talking to the third sister, Reva, whatever the fuck she
Reva!
is. Yeah, Reva. Him sitting in that chair. It literally looks like It looks like his fucking shoulders are trying to overtake the damn helmet. He's like literally too big for the. It's like, I don't. Where is he?
He looks like Darth
I don't
Helmet.
care about the Grand Inquisitor. Where's Kenobi? It's like, dude, put your fucking shoulders down. I can't. Fuck. It just looks bad, folks. It really does look bad.
And that's not the first thing that looks bad in the show.
No, it isn't. But it still
It just
looks.
starts off.
This is Hayden Christensen coming back as Darth Vader.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like,
Yeah.
what a big freaking waste.
Gotta freaking make it look good. Instead, you make the chest piece look like it's about ready to freaking shove off his helmet. Now, also, get this. He's saying, I've been watching you, third sister. I know what it is you want. We all know that Vader's very good at probing people with the Force. We know that he can spot a Jedi from a long way away. We know how in tune he is. How does he not know that Reva knows who he is then? How does he not see her ambition, and because she's willing to brag about it, her arrogance? My God, he would know this. The Empire would know this.
Mm-hmm.
Palpatine and Vader used Imperial intelligence like they were literally on beck and call. If somebody like an Inquisitor knew Vader's real identity, done. She'd be killed.
Dead.
She would be killed.
It seems like they're trying to play it off as like Vader and her could be buddy.
That's one thing that they could probably pay it off for, but it wouldn't work.
No.
No, absolutely not. It wouldn't. I'm not saying it would work. I'm just saying they might be trying to say, like, hey,
they could try, but it doesn't matter. It still breaks the lore.
And
it does.
And it's just, it doesn't make any sense. Why would he tell some rando third sister who he was?
I mean, this chick is supposed to be super good at mind probing. Well, that's no offense to Star Wars Theory. All respect to Star Wars Theory. I respect him. Yeah, he does like some of the Disney stuff, but he thinks that, well, maybe she's just very good at mind probing, and Vader doesn't know that she probed her. Vader would know.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is the one thing he wants to keep under wraps at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
Vader is killing Reva without a doubt. Of course, because the leaks already freaking confirmed it. The leaks have already confirmed that she's going to get killed by Vader at the end of the series.
Man, I hope so.
I hope so too, because damn. And then he says,
bite my ass off.
yeah, he then freaking talks to her and says, if you prove yourself, you'll be the new Grand Inquisitor. This confirms that the Grand Inquisitor is actually dead, which retcons Rebels.
Yep.
They killed their own continuity again.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. And that's why the show is just...
The show is killing its own freaking continuity. It's Disney canon continuity, folks.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They're killing their own Disney canon continuity. Not just the EU continuity, but Disney canon continuity. Because also, if you really have to go there, because we do, the original trilogy and prequel trilogy also fall under Disney canon. Well, yeah. What have we learned so far from Disney canon and this show? Well, I have the talking points up here, folks. Let's go over so far what all the lore violations are. I'm going to list them because I'm actually going to do a stream after these series of all of the lore problems, and I'm listing all of them, folks.
Good.
The first one, I have a very dirty lens on my glasses. Oh, first one is Obi seems to have stopped using the Force, cutting himself off of the Force, actually, for 10 years when he was supposed to be deepening his connection to it. and learning how to commune with Qui-Gon Jinn. Number 2, Bale contacting Kenobi. Bale is a known sympathizer to the Jedi back during the Clone Wars. He also, from Imperial intelligence, was seen stopping at the Jedi Temple during Operation Nightfall.
Oh,
You think that Sith, or you think that Imperial intelligence wouldn't have that logged and report to the Emperor?
For sure. Oh, absolutely.
They actually do have it in EU,
Definitely.
but they still would do that in Disney, unless they're showing how incompetent Disney is further by not incorporating it. And somehow he has a direct line to Kenobi, who is supposed to be in hiding and seclusion. The Empire would have tracked Kenobi's signal, and they would have undoubtedly tracked, they were undoubtedly tracking Organa's communications. Not only that, Bale knows Kenobi's exact location down to the cave. If you pay attention to things like, books like this, where you get
I have that book.
things like technology studies and whatnot, you learn that tracing signals can go right up or right down to the planet, no further.
Like a homing beacon.
Yeah. So how the hell does he? Because I don't get it. How would he do it? Now, number 3, I haven't gone by Obi-Wan since before you were born. This is now a lie, because he has indeed been called and referred to as Obi-Wan in the show. The Jedi that searched out Kenobi, he saw him. He talked with him. Reva is known to be a powerful mind prober. You're telling me that when the Inquisitors caught up to this guy, they didn't interrogate him? They didn't have Reva probing his mind? They would have immediately found Kenobi.
Yep.
So there's number 5. Reva is apparently aware. Oh, also she would have realized that Owen was lying as well. Reva is apparently aware that Anakin is Leia's father. She says in that scene. Now, a lot of people are saying they were actually talking about Bale. Well, if they were talking about Bale, they wouldn't have used a certain quote. He fought alongside her father in the war. Bale didn't fight in the Clone Wars. He wasn't a Jedi. He wasn't fighting. The only time he raised a blaster during the Clone Wars was when... Actually, no, not even in the Clone Wars show did he raise a blaster. I don't think.
Anakin
Reva seems to know that Leia is Anakin's daughter when Anakin, or Vader, doesn't even know he had kids. He thought, according to Imperial record, that Padme died and her kids or her child died with her.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be in A New Hope when Vader finds out that Luke's alive.
That Luke is indeed a Skywalker, yes.
Yeah.
It's after A New Hope, actually.
So why on earth are we having this, like... This whole show is just, it's unnecessary.
It really is.
It's really unnecessary.
I agree.
And it's just messing things up, making things confusing, and breaking continuity and just pissing fans.
Mm-hmm. Price is Right. Good to see you. Too Mad. Good to see you. Mike Carone. Good to see you. Thank you for following on Facebook. Make sure that you leave a like on Facebook too, folks. It really does help. The first thing I caught immediately when Darth Vader offered Reva the seat for Grand Inquisitor, seems the real Grand Inquisitor is just another white guy. Whoa. Well,
Yeah,
he
pretty
certainly is white, but I don't think it really works for the white guy trope, dude. He is an alien.
That is true. Yeah,
So we're not going to go there, really. The 501st Clone Trooper being drunk, he still would have recognized Kenobi. Why is that dog screaming in the background?
Sorry, that's our older dog, P. He's old, and he just
Do you got
whines.
headphones in?
Yeah, I've got headphones. It's probably just
Okay,
my
so
mic.
he's not responding to us. So okay, just checking.
No.
But yeah, is
Hold on, I'll mute.
sorry. It's just yeah. So yeah, I mean, folks, if the 501st clone Obi-Wan using a blaster when he hates blasters, how does a 10-year-old not get caught by an adult running through the streets? It's like, grab, lift, there you go. Yeah, you might draw attention. I'm sorry, folks. She's just misbehaving. It's easy to explain that shit. Why does it take Kenobi nearly shitting himself to catch Leia with the Force? If the Grand Inquisitor learned of Reva having an Imperial Senator's daughter kidnapped, you would think that Palpatine would be aware of this.
For sure. There's too many,
There's too many problems with the show.
Well, and it's like, how are we honestly supposed to believe that another 8 or 10 years go by without Vader and Palpatine figuring out where Luke and Leia are?
Yep.
Like, what? We're going to have this whole show about Kenobi and make all of these oh no, they're going to find them moments. And then just, it's all for the sole purpose of butchering Kenobi. We don't have a strong Kenobi. He can't even use the Force. He can't even lift a little girl. He can't even fight a lightsaber duel. He can't even talk to Qui-Gon. He can't even talk to Yoda. Like, he can't do shit. And we're supposed to enjoy this show?
Yeah, I agree.
Folks,
it's terrible.
Visuals is one thing. But when it comes to Star Wars, you need the story to make sense. You need the story to coalesce and fit and mesh well. If you're trying to mesh it like this, it's not going to work. You need it to coalesce. You need it to be consistent. And I got into so many freaking Twitter battles online today talking about how this shit is just so bad.
Same
and people
here.
are like, well, how do you do that? And it's like, one person actually, because I actually said, by Disney's standard, because they actually have this now as established canon, it makes A New Hope look bad.
It does.
And a person's like, explain that. A New Hope is still very good. I'm like, no doubt, A New Hope is still very good by itself without being connected to Obi-Wan Kenobi, the series. However, because Obi-Wan Kenobi series in its first 3 episodes alone destroyed so much of the continuity, it now makes, if you actually look at it or watch it, prequels, Kenobi, original trilogy, it now makes A New Hope look very inconsistent because of the chronological order. It now makes A New Hope look bad and make its writing look bad, because you know that some idiot down the line is going to say, well, A New Hope comes later on, so why doesn't it match the shit before? Maybe because it was the first fucking Star Wars movie made, you retard. Look it up.
Exactly.
Folks, yeah, I dropped the retard bomb. I'm sorry. Because when people are so held back and hindered from just being glad they're given Star Wars content, liking Star Wars because it's Star Wars, being so dumb that you would buy a jar of piss if it had the Star Wars logo on it. Yes, I'm going there. I am saying to people who like Star Wars because it's Star Wars, just because it's Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
If you like this stuff just because it's Star Wars, you're not a fucking fan. You're a consumer. There is a difference. Have you heard the rumors that the sequel trilogy is being remade? I've heard them, and I'm telling you right now, they're bullshit rumors. They made these movies. Why the hell would they retcon them? The Inquisitor or Darth Vader, or the Inquisitors or Darth Vader. It's all retcon, dude. It doesn't fucking matter. Now, getting back to the show, Vader in the OT never told anybody explicitly that he would kill them for their failure. He just did it. So when he goes to the Inquisitor, you will not live to regret it. That's not something that Vader does. That's not something that Vader says. Now, while James Earl Jones gets these lines down greatly, he delivers them greatly. I have nothing against James Earl Jones.
Me neither.
He is being paid to deliver these lines.
Yeah.
It's just poor writing.
Absolutely. And I'm going to go back to my point from our last stream. How on earth are we 10 years into an empire where your number 2 guy, Darth Vader, has not been seen? That scene where he walks in and he's like force choking that guy and then dragging his body and like force choking people
later on in this one,
later on, that is a great scene. If it had happened, 3 days after Mustafar, you know what I mean? The events like leading up to him being burned and getting his arms and legs cut off and all that. Like if it had happened 3 days after.
3 days after Mustafar, he was still recovering.
Okay, all right, I'll give him 3 months.
It took him nearly a year to get used to being in that suit.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely.
All right, so let's say a year or 3 years. That would have made sense. Not 10 years in, and nobody's even seen him. You know what I mean?
In this scene, we'll get to that scene. Trust me, we will discuss that.
It's a good scene.
Yes, it is. And him showing that cruelty, I will discuss, or I will go into why that is actually a good scene, but still not done well, but because of Obi-Wan's involvement, makes it worse.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what Disney's camping on. They're camping on these good moments, these good visuals, these good.
Yeah, that's all they can camp on.
That's all they can, because the writing is just awful.
Yep. Now, Kenobi is then fixing Lola, and we get the "that's not how the Force works" line. It's like, you guys, goddamn, you're recycling lines from a destitute trilogy. Ugh.
But also, how the frick does he know how the Force works when he hasn't even touched the Force in 10 years?
Yeah.
Well, you'd still remember how it works.
I know, but I just, I find the hypocrisy a little bit weird of him talking about how, Luke needs to train, talking about when Luke needs to train. Well, you haven't trained. What are you talking about? You haven't trained in 10 years. And then like in this episode talking to Leia saying that's not how the Force works. It's like a double whammy of like, dude, you haven't even touched.
And then she asks him, how does it work? And he explains it. It's like, have you ever been afraid of the dark? Yes. What's it like when the lights go on? I feel safe. Well, that's kind of like how it feels. It's like, you don't want her knowing this yet.
No.
If she has any sort of training, and believe it or not, just giving her that little bit of information, considering how smart Leia is as a kid in this.
Yeah.
She's
gonna fucking put 2 and 2 together that she is somehow using the Force when she reads people.
Yeah, she doesn't even find out till episode 5, as far as I know. In episode 6.
She doesn't find out until episode 6 that she has the power, or that she also is Force sensitive.
Right.
Luke explains it to her.
And
you have that power too.
And it's been a couple of years since I watched A New Hope, but correct me if I'm wrong, but Princess Leia doesn't know who Ben/Obi-Wan Kenobi is.
No.
When
indeed.
Luke is, so she's spending all this time as a child. Is he going to mind wipe her at the end? Like, is that how they're going to cover it up?
They better. They fucking better. But here's the thing. Leia is so powerful in the original A New Hope and stuff. Her resistance to the mind probe is considerable. It would take some time to extract any useful information out of her.
Yeah.
Vader also tried reading her mind.
To know of it.
Couldn't get in there. Couldn't even get past the door. Luke, one time in the EU, tried reading her mind. He got in, but then he found, oh shit, boom, kicked right out before he could get anywhere, because she is immune to any sort of mental persuasion.
Cool.
That is how her connection to the Force is. She's always been like that, even as a kid. That is why Palpatine and Vader, when she was 16, didn't recognize that she was Force sensitive from the EU.
Because she was able to block them out.
Right. Exactly. What should have concerned them was that they couldn't read her at all.
Yeah. She's like has this like self-cloaking in the Force kind of thing.
She's instinctually hiding in the Force without channeling the Force.
Yeah.
She instinctually does it, or instinctively does it. Sorry.
She doesn't know about it until.
Yeah, she doesn't learn about it, even though she says, I know, but somehow I've always known, that is also referring to her sensitivity, but she never has been able to put it into words, or she's never been able to explicitly understand it.
Yeah.
So, also, he keeps on snapping at her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You're telling me that an adult, this person that is saving your life at 10 years old, 9 years later, when your dad tells you, seek this man out, wait, Ben Kenobi, or Obi-Wan Kenobi, that guy that frickin' was always snapping at me when I got kidnapped? Dad, what the fuck? You're telling me that this girl is going to say, okay, this guy was very cruel to me, but I'll still go and see it, or it's for the greater good. She would be apprehensive because of how much he snaps at her in this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This show just basically shits on A New Hope.
Yeah.
And I don't really like calling it A New Hope. I just like calling it Star Wars because that's what
it was originally called.
Yeah, it was called the Star Wars.
Right, but it's when you're
Wars,
discussing Star Wars as a whole, it's kind of hard to say just
A&H or A New Hope. Yeah.
Right, but it's the whole thing just undermined the original movie.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Well, it also undermines the prequels as well.
Correct,
in my opinion.
How you doing, Tim Talk? Good to see you. We're just talking episode 3 of Obi-Wan. Now, they get on this planet, Mapuzo. Weird name.
Yeah, definitely.
This loader droid that is there looks so fucking human. It looks like a guy in a suit.
Probably was.
It was a guy in a suit, but the problem was its articulation is very human. There's no joints. There's no joints. There's nothing that shows that this is a droid. It's a guy in a fucking suit. And it's too obvious.
Yeah. It's like with the Anthony Daniels suit for C-3PO.
He actually looks like a droid.
He does. Because he actually acted like a robot because of the way he moves around and stuff. And I'm pretty sure the suit restricted his movement because of how
very much.
I guess how the suit was built. And it was designed to make him look like a droid. To make him look like a droid and move like a droid.
Yeah.
And and it's like you can't even do that with a droid in this show. Come on.
This guy looks like Domi Arigato Mr. Roboto.
Pretty much.
I mean, it's like, I'm not buying it. I'm sorry, but I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
And then he keeps snapping at her. It's like,
yeah.
Well,
she's going to remember that. She's going to remember.
Leia, you can't keep running away, Leia. For fuck's sake, Leia. You called her Leia. I thought her name was Luma. Oh shit.
Yeah, that's where he effed up there.
That was terrible.
I mean,
it was.
His haunted vision of Anakin, it's like, I can understand it in this show's context.
Same
it's
here.
Bad context, but
I was willing to give that one to them.
Yeah.
Same.
But considering the rest of it, it's hard to give them passes. Like, I want to give them a free pass on a few things because otherwise it's just like, well, this is terrible, this is awful, this is terrible. Which it is, but there are good moments, and there are okay moments. I'll give them that scene, and it might have been that. I think it might have been fan service, like, oh, we get to see,
Hayden as a Jedi again.
Yeah, right. Which I'd love to see. Don't get me wrong, I love to see that. But that's not why I'm going to give him a free pass on that. I was going to give him a free pass because he's wrestling with this in this show,
Guilt. He's wrestling with guilt.
Yeah, he's wrestling with guilt and the knowledge of his friend still being alive.
And then we see Reva arrive on the Inquisitor planet at the Home Inquisitorius or whatever.
Okay then.
And she lies a little bit. You can actually see when she moves her hand. Vader told me I could lead the hunt. And I love how the fifth brother just uses the Force to pull her down. And she's like, whoa! It's like, yeah, know your place, bitch. Sorry, folks, but it's like, that's right, know your place.
She's like, best Inquisitor ever. It's like, no, I'm sorry, no. She's not.
And then she gets all bossy and they fucking listen to her. It's like, what species is the other sister?
Really? Tell me about it.
Second sister. I gotta look that up.
She's some type of alien. I don't know what kind of alien she is.
Well, I'm gonna look that up. Second sister species. All right, second sister. No, that was Fallen Order. Kenobi, second sister. Not Genobi, Kenobi. Get it right. Not Kanoi, Kenobi. Trillis, or no, I guess it's not the second sister.
How many freaking Inquisitors are there?
There's so many of them. It's just fucking weird.
I know. There shouldn't be any Inquisitors, in my opinion. That's just me.
All right, you got the Grand Inquisitor. He's a Powan. Who is the other Inquisitor? Reva. Okay, now, what species is the Inquisitor in Star Wars? Okay, that's the Grand Inquisitor. I need an Inquisitor. Who the fuck cares? Who's the second sister Inquisitor? They keep on going back to Trilla from Thingamajiv. I guess we'll never know. Well, actually, I'll do this. Kenobi Episode 3 cast. Let's see if this helps anything. IMDb. Because I am curious as to what the species of Inquisitor is. This other female one. Top cast: Inquisitor Reva, Sun Kang, fifth brother, Rupert Friend, Nari or Haja Estri, Mars, Barulars is Bonnie Pius, and who's Maurice Alvarez is Night Erskine. There's Simone Castles Brea. Fourth sister. Okay, so she's the fourth sister. Alrighty, now let's go back to it. What species is the fourth sister? Female, member of the Inquisitor in Imperial area. What is the fourth sister? B-bomb. God. That doesn't. No, that's. What species is the seventh sister? Fourth sister. Let's look it up on Assholepedia. Because those assholes freaking blocked me.
Wikipedia?
Yeah, Wikipedia blocked me on Twitter. Eye color is yellow. Well, yeah, dark side, dumbass. What's her species? We would love to know that. What point eventually, yada, 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 yada. Hired victim, mercenary. That's the third sister. Who cares? I want to know who the fourth sister is. Okay, they don't tell you what her damn species is.
Of course not.
Only that she's female, her eye color is yellow, and her skin color is yellow. So, well, she's definitely not mellow yellow. Anyway, okay. TX606, what's up, Orange Man? Not much. Just getting ready to continue killing Kenobi. Or the show Kenobi. So, yes, they send out probe droids. Good to see probe droids back. Except that that level of probe droid was not built until around 3 years before the Battle of Yavin.
That's right. So they wouldn't have shown up.
Yeah, those probe droids were not yet built. Anyway, if my memory is accurate, it could be wrong. There is room for error. When they get to the area, the coordinates, Kenobi would have been more patient. He's like, this guy lied to us. God damn it. What am I going to do? Son of a bitch. Dude, calm the fuck down. I mean, seriously.
Yeah,
Ewan McGregor's acting is just bad in the scene.
Yeah.
And Leia's gonna think that, no wonder the Jedi all died. They're all impatient assholes who hate children.
There you go. I got a snick on my glasses. Ugh, need new ones. And so then she's like, we need help, and we're sick of fire, or I'm sick of walking. So she flags down this truck speeder thingy, and we got a star-faced mole man. Now, folks, Freck, the star-faced mole man, is an actual species on Earth. It's literally called a star-faced or star-nosed mole.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, why is Joe Rogan in this outfit talking like he belongs in one of Barney's adventures? It's just that bad.
It is.
Oh, I'll take you to the port. It's good to see some like-minded individuals. Yeah, you're so fucking dumb that you're supporting a regime that hates you.
And no lowly farmer, if he's a dude just trying to make an honest living, owns a truck, hauling things.
Yeah.
He's not going to be pro-Empire. You know what I mean?
Well, he's an alien, first off. They're speciest. The Empire is very speciest.
Correct.
So any of the conscripts, especially 10 years in, they would have already dominated most of the non-human species.
Yeah, they would have, yeah.
Boy, they would have this would have gone so great with the woke narrative if they would have just said, shut up, filth, and just drive us to the next port.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. Having tolerant stormtroopers. Yeah, this is completely contradictory to what Star Wars is. Tolerant stormtroopers, folks. Non-speciest stormtroopers. What's up, buddy? Take us to the next floor, please.
Female voice I heard for one of the stormtroopers too.
Yeah, will get. I think I know exactly where you're going because let me guess, you found it a little bit familiar.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't want to jump ahead, and I knew that you are very thorough, so I didn't want to
Yeah, we will get there because believe me.
Okay.
You're hearing very familiar voices from some of these stormtroopers.
Yeah, I was like, I had to rewind it. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. I had to do a double take real quick.
Mm-hmm. Now, these stormtroopers are suspicious of Kenobi. They would have been suspicious of Kenobi.
Oh, yeah.
Because, first off, you're getting and other stuff. And this star-faced mole man is actually smarter than he appears. That's a weird story. Automatically tells you that this guy is already suspicious of him. But anyway, Kenobi missing Padme. He's like, we miss her greatly. And then he talks to, or it's like, are you my father? I honestly wish I can say I was, but I'm not.
Yeah.
What, did you have a crush on Padme, Obi-Wan, or something? What the fuck?
Yeah, he didn't in episodes 2 and 3. Well, actually, all 3
No,
of them.
he didn't have it at all.
No.
Because the thing is, he was a dear, dear friend of hers. Yes. Now, if they're trying to even hint that he may have liked her in any sort of way, that's completely inappropriate.
Yes, very inappropriate.
Because Kenobi was
only loved Satine. Hello, duh.
Yeah, he only loved Satine Kryze. And and also in real lore, he actually loved somebody else and never even met this Satine Kryze chick. But for Lonely Wars, he was in love with Satine Kryze.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So then, him snapping at Leia and calling her Leia. Well, Leia's her mother's name. I sometimes get confused. We just lost her. It's like, oh my god, man. And then he talks about his family. Now, I actually asked OG Star Wars because she knows stuff that I don't in certain areas and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Did Kenobi ever have a sibling in the original lore? No, he didn't. I remember a baby.
I knew he didn't.
I have a brother out there, I guess. I mean, if this was literally a freaking set off a bomb at Lucasfilm, is everybody out of the building? Yes. Okay. Boom.
Boom.
Pushing that fucking button because these idiots just don't know how to make Star Wars anymore.
Yeah. Don't know how to write anymore. It's just all over the place.
So, yeah. Then we get the ride up to the checkpoint, and we get the probe droid. Freck turns him in, and we get the stormtrooper that calls him out to step off the truck or the speeder. If you recognize that voice, I'm willing to bet it's Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, I almost want to say I do recognize those voices, but I'm not sure.
That one voice where the one that was telling him to get off the truck, it's like, why do you sound like the Mandalorian?
Yeah, that's right.
You sound like the Mandalorian did.
Yeah.
And then there's the probe droid identifies him, and Kenobi kicks the shit out of everybody, shoots them all dead with a blaster that he hates. Because we all know that he hates blasters. But hey. And then they get past the other thing. You also see a trooper get sliced in half, which was pretty cool. I will say that.
That was pretty dope.
That was dope.
Yeah,
I'll give it to them there. That was fucking dope. Now the thing is, if Kenobi is identified, it's like, well, no real need to hide it anymore. Lightsaber out. He would have stepped right back into it. I'm sorry, but he wouldn't have needed to use the blaster anymore.
That's actual Obi-Wan Kenobi. We have Disney Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
The only difference is one of them doesn't have any balls or a personality.
Or acting talent. Anyway, the Imperial... then we get to the other three that come out with this female trooper that is telling them to get down and stuff. If you pay attention to that voice, and if you saw Rise of Palpatine, their what they call Episode 9, Zori Bliss, Kerry Russell's character.
Oh, yeah.
Is that where you recognized it from, Kate?
It did sound eerily, yeah. Now that you say that, yes.
It's like, are they seriously going here? Like, seriously going here? Kerry Russell and whatnot. And then we get the Imperial spy chick Tala helps them out. And then we get
that.
Yeah, and then we get some Inquisitor infighting. That's like, I'll inform Lord Vader. He's already been informed. He was most appreciative. You could take all the credit if you want to, but by the time this is over, we'll see who's standing by his side. And it's like, it ain't gonna be you. But yeah, it's oh god, it's just bad.
It's horrible. It really is.
So Leia then starts well, she now suddenly starts dawning on her that she misses home and that she's very sorry for what she did. And the sudden fear is starting to dawn on her. It's like, I didn't mean to run away from home. It's like, it's taken you this long to finally understand the reality of your situation. Well, at least you finally did understand the reality of your situation, you little shit. You are a small kid. You're innocent. This really wasn't your fault. There was other forces at work here, but it's good that you're actually picking up on it now.
Mm-hmm.
So then we get to the safe house, and we learn that it's a safe house for Jedi seeking safe harbor, and that there's literally so many survivors of Order 66, enough of them that they call this the Path.
Oh, yeah.
And Quinlan Voss is also alive.
Ugh, that whole nod, I knew that they thought they were going to be clever making that. They probably thought they were super clever in the writer's room with that one. And I was just like, oh god, really? Eye roll.
So you had the Rastafarian Jedi that drove Obi-Wan nuts during the Clone Wars as a survivor, shepherding younglings through this particular safe house. And how we learn how the Empire is hunting down Force-sensitive children. And then when they disappear, they're never seen again.
Duh.
And, yeah, it's kind of weird. And then we get Leia learning that she wants to shoot. And then he's like, Leia, enough. And Tala says she's going to be a good fighter someday. Yes, I feel you might be right. Big shout out to, or big member berries and foretelling.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, then we get to the final meat of the stuff, where we get a small inspection from the safe house, where the Imperials are looking for him. They try they try getting a reaction out of the loader droid. It's like, it's a loader droid. It doesn't understand you, man. It's like, I asked that question, fucking bald man. Fucking answer me. It's a loader droid, dude. It doesn't understand you. It's like, you fucking idiot. Shut the fuck up. And then Kenobi senses the dark presence of Vader. And his reaction, it's like, yeah, I guess tapping into the Force is now kind of a shock to you because you've been so fucking stupid and you cut yourself off from it.
Yeah, which I don't understand why they would do that.
I mean, it looks like he's about to have a seizure or he's about to have a heart attack from sensing Vader.
Yeah.
Now, understandably, their Earth, you could sense a dark presence. It does kind of feel like a heavy weight, as we see Yoda from sensing the dark side in Episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
When Anakin turns. And then we see Vader come in. Now, I will say, folks, this scene is a good scene in a bad show.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
Vader is walking along. He freaking force chokes a guy out of his house. The kid comes out. He slams the kid and then snaps that kid's neck. That's Vader.
I didn't see that, but
That is Vader.
Yeah.
That was a great moment.
That's him.
He then slams a woman down, dragging her along. Now, there is a reason why he's doing this. Any Jedi would come out and stop him. That's not Kenobi.
No, it is not.
He knows Kenobi is there. He's trying to bait Kenobi out.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to bait Kenobi out in the scene. That is why he's causing the suffering. That it's not because he's relishing it, although he does get off in torturing others, it seems. Yeah. But he knows that this is what would get Kenobi to come out.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work. This is actually good writing. Obi-Wan is knowing that this is what he wants. He wants me to come out.
Yep.
So Obi-Wan does draw him away. And the scene where it shows him ignite the lightsaber from the back down at the back of his kit, that's good cinematography there.
Oh, yeah.
Folks, I will give credit where credit is due. Does this show suck? Yes. Does this all break canon? Yes. Does this screw with the lore irrevocably doing damage? Yes. However,
are lightsabers cool? Yes.
Yes, lightsabers are cool. But
they are.
Where certain scenes where they show a certain action or something like that, where you're seeing him stand there, the camera's in back, like right here, and you see the lightsaber ignite. Yes, that is a great cinematography, or that's great cinematography.
It's a great
That is
shot.
great, or it's a great establishing shot of Vader. And then Obi-Wan Kenobi runs away like a bitch.
He runs away like a freaking coward.
He's a fucking coward. Because he's afraid. He's like, what have you become? I am what you made me. It's like, if I may quote Kenobi, you've done that yourself.
Exactly.
You're the one that chose to jump off that damn lava platform and get yourself sliced up because you're stupid. You're the one who chose to go down this path. But obviously, he's still immature, and he's not going to acknowledge that was his fault.
Yeah.
And so we then get the worst choreographed rematch of the century.
Even worse than Alec Guinness and Dave Prowse. That's even worse because I remember seeing episode 4, and it's like the choreography was okay, but it wasn't as fast paced as the others, like episode 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
it wasn't as, and then
it was also 2 older men dueling.
Well, yeah,
but they also added a good reason behind why that duel took place the way it did. Okay. These are 2 people who are probing each other's limits. Because this is the first time that they're seeing each other since 20 or 19 years prior.
Right.
So they're not exactly sure. Well, yeah, not anymore, obviously. So now it just makes the episode 4's fight even worse.
Yeah. Well, even the fight between like Yoda and Dooku was, because they're 2 older gentlemen, that was still good. It was still better than Kenobi. I mean,
well,
come on.
But that also wasn't Christopher Lee doing a whole ton of the swashbuckling areas.
No, but still, I mean, the fact that the thing I'm talking about, I'm kind of making a point, like, with Dave Prowse, Alec Guinness, they were old, and, we had Christopher Lee and both
But
Yoda.
I know where,
Yeah.
This is what we get.
Yeah.
3 smacks, smackaroo, smackadoo.
It's like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's what happened.
Hold on 1 second, folks.
Oh, no. What'd you do?
Nice demonstration of...
Whoops. Okay, we'll wait.
It's totally fine. Yeah, how can one of the greatest duelists and most accomplished Jedi Masters of the Order just run away? Yeah, the Sentinel, that's a great question. Because he was one of the greatest duelists.
He was.
And I was expecting, I said this in the last stream, I was expecting a Kenobi who had just spent the last 10 years in contact with Qui-Gon and really just mastering his own skills in the Force. And then we get this sad excuse of a human being, let alone a Jedi.
He's fought Maul. He defeated Maul single-handedly. He fought Dooku. He fought Grievous. And he fought Anakin without any fear at all.
Right. And now he's just sad, lonely old man who runs away from
just like just like Jake Skywalker.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Jake Skywalker. Very, very similar. Very
Oh yeah.
good.
It's just disappointing to see it like this.
Well, and it's just what they do though. They did the same thing with Luke. We were expecting, oh, we're gonna go find Luke, and Luke's gonna help us with the First Order. Oh, just kidding. All he wants to do is drink this green milk from, some random alien titties and stuff. Yeah, and they wanted to give us a sad excuse of a character instead of giving us the hero that we wanted, or the hero that we needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even the same with with any other reboot that they do, is they give you your same old hero, except they make them lame and sad, and boring. And I don't want to watch the rest of this show.
No, after seeing what we saw, I mean, it's not. How can you call that a duel? How can you
call this a TV show?
That's also true. How can you call it a TV show when it's not even, it's supposed to be about Kenobi watching over Luke, and
right.
It's not even about that.
Right, exactly. That's what they sold us. Even they can't even hold continuity in the TV show that they were going to sell us. They were selling us a TV show, exactly what you said, Kenobi looking over Luke, and we saw Luke for exactly 4 frames.
Yeah, only like a few seconds.
And
boom.
And then that was it.
Yeah.
And maybe they think they're smart, like, oh, we're pulling a fast one on you. You thought this was about Luke. It's actually about Leia. Well, that's cool and all, but she wouldn't have sent that transmission in A New Hope to Obi-Wan for help if she had been treated poorly by him when she was a child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, she didn't even know who he was in episode 4.
Exactly. She didn't know who he was. She had never, and now we're supposed to believe that.
Yeah.
Okay, I got the light back on, but I'm definitely going to have to do a lot more repairs when I get up there.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
But, yeah.
Did you whack the ceiling fan, too?
Yeah, I did. I'm going to have to do a lot more stuff. I am so sorry about that, folks.
You're okay.
So that's the kind, just a bunch of smacking and then a force push. Yeah. And then he goes Dante Inferno on fucking Kenobi. And I'm like, oh, okay, so Kenobi's going to get burnt to a crisp.
Go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead. No.
That reminds me of when we saw the SE-38. They did like a reimagining of Vader versus Kenobi. That was freaking awesome. That right there was Vader. Vader was full of rage. He was full of revenge, malice, everything. He wanted to kill Kenobi. But in this series, it's like he just wanted to smack him around a bit. It's like, where is the fast pace? Where is, it's like, I don't even know where they were going with it, but they just basically made it look like he was just wanting to smack him around. It's like, why are you people making it look like he wanted to kill Kenobi? Because Kenobi is the reason why Vader is the way he is now.
Yeah, he was toying with him. Now, the thing is, here's the thing, folks. This is a guy that chopped you up, left you for dead on a lava planet. And you're telling me that you wouldn't want to make sure this guy dies? Sure, I understand that there's some twisted vengeance here and there. Vader would want to make sure that Kenobi is dead.
Oh, yeah.
He wouldn't just slowly tear. Maybe he would want to make him suffer a little bit, but I guarantee you he would ensure he dies. So when this Tala girl leaves freaking Leia to go back up this tunnel to try to save Kenobi. Also, Reva got into that tunnel that doesn't have a branch off or anything like that. How does she get in front of Leia?
Man, I don't know.
I was
Obi-Wan
wondering
always
that. I was
stood
like,
his
am I
ground.
shit gonna
Yeah.
like meld through walls or some shit?
Yeah, I
like
was
that?
confused about that myself. I'm like, how did she know Leia was there?
Yeah.
Because we saw her initially like find the secret passage, so she's on the other side, and all of a sudden she doesn't run into the girl who turns back or Leia and gets in front of them, kills the pilot, and then turns around and it didn't make any sense.
Yeah, exactly. OG. He's, yes, still wanted to kill Kenobi. He didn't hesitate to kill Kenobi, which leads me to theorize that he would strictly go for the kill. He wouldn't go for suffering.
Yeah,
He'd go to strictly kill him.
Yeah,
he would beat him down, and then he would just slice him
that
up.
That neck snap that he did with that one dude,
With the kid,
like
yeah.
30 seconds earlier, whatever, 45 seconds earlier, in that same.
He could have just did that. He had him right. He had him up, levitated him. Why didn't he just snap his neck?
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
He just force choked him basically, and it's like, well, if
he
you're
just
gonna
held
kill
him there,
do
ignited that stuff, and then dragged him into the coals. Now, don't get me wrong. That is seriously some brutally twisted shit.
It is.
But that's not Vader.
No, he would have
not when it comes to Kenobi. No. Vader, folks, I'm a Vader fan.
Me too.
Vader will be brutal.
Oh,
Vader will torture people.
Oh, yeah.
But when it comes to Kenobi, he will want to make sure that he is dead.
Yeah, like get under the door now.
He won't give him a chance to escape.
Oh, no. No, he
would do what Kylo Ren does to Jake Skywalker in The Last Jedi. I want every gun to open fire on that man. He would freaking blast. He turned Tatooine to glass if he knew that Obi-Wan was there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he wouldn't know about Luke. He wouldn't know about Luke.
He would have killed Obi-Wan. Really. I mean, the
he would have killed him immediately.
Yeah, the hatred he has for Obi-Wan. The hatred, the revenge, the vengeance for Obi-Wan he had.
The first few weeks in the armor, Vader wanted nothing but to find Obi-Wan and kill him. He realized that obsession was too dangerous when a group of Jedi used it against him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That is from the EU Rise of Darth Vader, where an indistinguished Jedi scored a blow on his forearm, and he then just beat her into submission and then decapitated her. How you doing, Jacob Ironside?
Oh, man.
Because of his fear, he'd take the quickest route to kill Obi-Wan. Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
I feel.
He would not. He wouldn't hesitate. He wouldn't drag it out. Literally, in the show, he drags it out.
He would have just straight out killed him.
He just would have, he would have straight up killed him.
Yeah, Vader is a very brutal character. He really is. That's how Lucas wrote him.
But he's also a very pragmatic and realistic character too. When it comes to Kenobi, he won't hesitate. He'd just snap his damn neck. He would run up even if Kenobi was in shackles and they brought him before him on Mustafar. He would go right up to Kenobi and he would just slash him. He would just decapitate him. He would not risk. He would not risk Kenobi getting away because he knows Kenobi.
Yep.
He knows Obi-Wan could get out of that situation. He was on the invisible hand when Kenobi was surrounded by all sorts of separatist droids and General Grievous, a known Jedi killer, and turned it around on him.
Mm-hmm.
He was there in the Battle of Mustafar when he was beating Kenobi down, but somehow Kenobi managed to get a hold of his mechanical finger and just caused his hand to open.
Mm-hmm.
He was there to see a lot of Obi-Wan's impossible feats.
Yeah.
He wouldn't hesitate. And it looks like we got a
bot.
A bot, folks. So can I have somebody in the chat
who is a mod and fast?
Ooh. Yeah, wow. Get rid of this thing before it infects this channel further. Alex Kogan, good to see you. Under absolutely no circumstances should Kenobi be in the same room with anyone except for maybe Bale or Not even Bale or Organa.
No. I agree with that.
Because here's the thing, folks. This whole situation with Leia would put a humongous target on Bale Organa. They kidnapped your daughter, and why is Obi-Wan Kenobi seen with your daughter?
Right?
Are you harboring Obi-Wan, Bale? You're supposed to live until the second they blow up Alderaan.
Yep, that's when he dies.
And yet, you're telling me the Emperor didn't know that Obi-Wan or that Bale went to Obi-Wan. So yeah, rematch of the century, my ass.
Definitely not.
It was literally just a bitch slapping bout, and then he lets this droid take Kenobi out of there. Why didn't he just levitate Kenobi, pull him to him? Oh my God, this is just so much bad. Ready. Also, did Kenobi get his lightsaber? He dropped his lightsaber. Did he get it back when this droid was dragging him away? And then we see Reva find Leia, and she, oh my God. How did she not run into Tala, that woman that helped him? How did none of this happen? This episode was just so bad.
It was.
Now, folks, believe me, I would love it if Disney actually went the smart route. Unfortunately, they're not ever going to do that. This show's first 3 episodes proves this. And then we roll credits, by the way. So, Aaron, how would you score it? How would you score this episode out of 10?
Oh my God. Probably a 1.5.
Kate.
Ooh, objectively or subjectively? Because
Objectively and subjectively. Give me both of them.
Subjectively, -3. Objectively, okay. I'm going to give it a 1 just for that one scene and because of James Earl Jones.
Yes, yeah. James Earl Jones is the bomb.
So I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10, and that 1 is just for James Earl Jones and that one scene with Darth Vader.
James Earl Jones is awesome. Love him.
Objectively, meaning without bias, folks. Without bias.
Yeah,
out of 10. Objectively, I give this score of this episode a 2. There are some good moments. There's some good cinematography. That's all this show has going for it. Objectively speaking, the writing, the god-awful practical effects in some areas, the horrible choreography,
yes,
the acting. I mean, this isn't the Kenobi show. This is the Leia and Reva show.
Yeah.
Like I said in the last stream, folks, Leia is a good casting in the wrong show.
Yes, I agree.
Leia shouldn't even be in the show.
Mm-mm.
Vader should not have fought Kenobi in this episode. They don't meet in between 3 and 4.
Right.
As OG said, why isn't Obi-Wan not in touch with Bale and Bale helping them out? Yeah. Dark Lord, Bale was willing to give his life to protect Leia or turn in the Senator. Yeah, he was going to turn in Fang Zar to the Empire. He because Vader was on the planet looking for Jedi. Or actually, he was there to basically shut up Bale or get Bale to submit to Imperial law because he was still allowing protests. And he was also there to take Fang Zar back to Coruscant alive. Fortunately, it didn't work out because he almost decapitated the guy.
Oh, man.
Also, Vader did say he wanted to meet the Queen and their daughter. This was when Leia was a baby. However, thanks to uh, uh, yeah, arrest. He was there to arrest Fangzar because he left Coruscant without permission. But thanks to R2D2's quick thinking, because he knew that they were on their way to see Bale, and R2 knew that Bale was with Vader, R2 squeals to terrify Leia as a baby. And so Bria has to basically say, I can't make it, unfortunately, and whatnot. So, yeah, there's all that. Now, this show subjectively is a 1 out of 10. There's nothing about this, or there's only one good thing about this show. Well, 2 good things about this show. The cinematography, with the small bits, or that small introduction to Vader's cruelty, and James Earl Jones doing a great job voicing him. That's it.
He always does a good job with Vader.
Showgoer, however, folks, showgoer, basing it on entertainment value alone, where I am also taking in other people's opinions and whatnot. There are people that like this show. There are people that enjoy the show and whatnot. No matter what lore is broken, there are still people that like the show. So I will give this a 6 out of 10 showgoer. Because some people do find it fun. Some people do find it entertaining. It has entertainment quality.
It does. But...
So I am being honest, folks. My showgoer is not breaking down the show. It is strictly basing it on an entertainment value alone. And from entertainment value, it's up there. But not everybody feels that way, so it doesn't get as high as a score as it should. So, James Earl Jones and Darth Vader go together like peanut butter and jelly. Exactly, Austinator, and it's good to see you. So, yeah, we're going to conclude it here because that's all there is. We're going to see you back here next week to discuss just how bad the 4th episode is. I can't imagine what they're probably going to do another... They did say that they're going to fight twice, so the rematch of the century is probably going to take place in either the next episode or the episode after.
Yikes.
I'm wondering how Leia's going to get home, because I'm guessing that my guess with how ridiculous this has gotten so far is Vader is going to send or deliver Leia home.
Vader?
Yep.
Vader? Why would
Or
he do
he's
that?
going to order Reva to send Vader or to send Leia home.
Wouldn't that be the irony of all ironies?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would. Definitely
It's
would
like,
be.
you made a mistake here. You may have drawn out Kenobi, but you made a mistake here and you're going to fix it. Now, no matter what choice is made, it's still going to be bad writing.
True.
They've written themselves into such a corner.
Well, and at this point, so Bail Organa is still a senator. He's still an important, I would say, right, an important character in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
But
He's one of the delegation of 2000. He's on, or there's a reason why he's under observation by the Empire.
Correct. And this is before the Emperor dissolves the Senate.
Yep.
So you'd think that he would be more in the show, especially seeing that his daughter is kidnapped. And it seems like Leia's kidnapped from her kidnapping by the original kidnapper. It's just all sorts of weird and stupid.
It is.
So yeah, folks, thank you. Yep, thank you so much for tuning in. Why don't we see Bale plead to the Senate to get Leia back? He explains, or he tries to explain that in the first episode, or the second episode. Yeah, the first episode. OG. The way they say that is because if they bring in the Empire, they would investigate and know that she's adopted, and know that, and most likely it would draw the attention of Vader or the Empire or the Emperor.
Yep.
So there's a chance, or there's fear of discovery there.
Which would be
that's
bad.
their reason. I'm not defending it. I'm simply answering your question. Although it does make sense because that was a legitimate fear in the EU. If she was anywhere near Vader, Vader might sense a connection to Leia. So, yeah. So, let's see if OG has anything to say or to reply on that. But I do also want to thank everybody else. Really, Bale takes her to important events in the original EU. Yeah, that is true. That is true. But there was always, but Bale, we do know that Bale does have that fear that she might be discovered. That is why he kept her away from Vader and the Emperor for as long as humanly possible. She is exposed to Vader in the original EU. Yeah, when she's 16, I believe.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. That's 3 years before A New Hope, where she's actually meets Vader and Palpatine.
Which would make sense because when you see her meeting him at the beginning of A New Hope, she chastises Vader as if they have that relationship where she's pretending to be an ambassador, and you know what I mean? They have that.
Mm-hmm. They have that history.
Yeah.
Because she's a senator at 16.
Right.
She's the youngest senator ever. I think sooner than 16. Then it would, or I believe, actually, I have the stuff, or I actually have it right here. So
because she was following in her mother's footsteps, and Padme was the youngest, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Mon Mothma.
She was the what? I'm sorry.
Mon Mothma was the youngest. Let's see here. I do have my ultimate visual guide here, folks. So yeah, I will tell you exactly where it is. Dark Lord Reborn, the Dark Times. This is the spot where it is. Vader. Imperial Dignitaries. Imperial Might. Rogues and Villains. Dark Encounter. On her first visit to Coruscant, Leia attends a reception at Imperial Palace and meets Emperor and Darth Vader. Despite their powers, the Sith Lords do not sense anything unusual about Leia, who is unaware of her true heritage. Disturbed by the encounter, Leia becomes a senator determined to fight for fairness and justice. So yes, she is. It is sooner than before she is a senator. So yes, sooner than 16.
Okay.
So yes, she is a child. Yeah, Senator Organa, I see you have brought your daughter with you. Your Highness, may I present Princess Leia? A plucky little thing, isn't she? Yes. You have your father's fire. I look forward to seeing your pretty young face in the Senate. This is what the Emperor says. It's kind of pervy, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Pervy, and especially with like her actual dad standing right there. Like, you know.
Yeah.
But then again, he doesn't know that. So
sure, but like as an audience member knowing that, reading that, or you know what I mean?
It just makes it extra creepy.
Yeah, super creepy. It's like when Biden meets young children.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yep. That's how they originally have Vader meet Leia. Folks, it's important. These books are important. Visual guides, expanded visual dictionaries.
I have a couple of them.
The prequel trilogy in one volume for me. the visual dictionaries. Like I said, 1, 2, 3. Jedi versus Sith. All this stuff is important. And that is why me, Stig, Kenobi, OG Star Wars, I believe many other people, Mark with a C, that is why we all stand against this crap. It's because this stuff is far more superior than what Disney can ever do.
Yeah.
Even seeing how aliens are treated by the Empire motivated her. Yes, exactly, OG. Yeah, you don't want Leia exposed to the Empire to keep her from that. Yet you get a known Jedi to go get her. That makes a lot of sense. Exactly. For fuck's sake.
Oh boy.
So yes, I do want to thank everybody in the chat. OG, Star Wars, Jacob Ironside, Austinator, who else? Alex Kogan, the Sentinel. Thank you so much for coming in. Who else? TX606, Tim's Talk, Price is Right Review. Thank you for coming in. Mike Carone from Facebook. Thank you for leaving a like. Too Mad, Mike Carone again. Keely Chow. Thank you for coming in. Netcat Media. Thank you all for coming in. And checking out the stream. Stay tuned for next week where we will discuss the 4th episode and tear it apart as well, because without a doubt it is going to be objectively crap.
Terrible.
It's going to be objectively crap. I have got to go quick because I got to fix that. I got to fix the light because I kind of was a stupid idiot and, well, was swinging around a cane. So, yeah. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I do want to let you all know, at reaching 1,000, I have a poll on my Twitter right now. So go to the poll. It's either I'll do the hair if I have to, or I'll get a clown wig that's orange for the roasting stream that I have planned out for everybody who wants to come on, say hi, take clips, take screenshots, whatnot. It's all allowed that day, where y'all get to make fun of me and ask me any questions, no matter how embarrassing. It's all fair game that day. It's going to be after the 6th or 7th, because it's it's going to take place. The stream is going to take place sometime after the poll is done. And then but if I don't get to 100 votes on that poll, I will make the decision of whether I dye my hair or do the clown wig. So, because the reason why I'm changing it a little bit, folks, is because looking into dyeing my hair, I would have to bleach it and then I would have to change the color. It's pretty expensive to do this stuff. Not to mention I got a huge bald spot right here. So, yeah. I figure having a big clown wig will actually make it a little bit more fun to watch and look at, you know? Anyway, folks, thank you so much to Kate and Adela for coming on in and joining me for the stream. We'll be back next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Orange Hat Reviews. And to all you Star Wars, Disney shills out there who think that this stuff is that your stuff is somehow better than the EU, which has already been known to be far superior, this is my last words to you.
Shut your fucking mouth! Shut the fuck up, you cunt! Shut it!
Take it easy, folks, and always remember, stay humble.